entire chapter of God's holy word on this day from Genesis. So with that, I think I have to say, peace be with you. You did it. Congratulations. All right, on this beautiful day. It's so good to have you all here. This is Holy Trinity Sunday. And so I have a special thing to start us off today. I have these amazing eyeglasses. Look at that. And when I put them on, oh my goodness, everything looks different, totally different. Does anyone want to try these glasses here? Do you think you might see? Fiona, come on up. totally random person. Here, try these eyeglasses on and tell me what you see.
A lot of pink.
A lot of pink? What else do you see?
All the people.
All the people. Okay.
Surrounded in pink.
Okay. But aren't they just amazing?
Yep.
They are. Okay, let's give Fiona a big hand. Thank you so much. Pink is your color. Yeah. It's not my color. It's maybe it is my color. Okay. It's a nice color. Isn't it a nice color? Yeah. So pink. So these eyeglasses, I think when I put them on, I see everything totally different. It's just amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. And I'm going to tell you why. Especially if we combine these eyeglasses with all the words that Pam just read for us about the creation. This is a way of seeing reality differently. You see, because creation changes our perspective. That story that Pam just read for us is pivotal in the way that we can see reality. Because often you can look at the universe and you can say, all this material, random atoms, everything's random, meaningless, chaotic. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. And yet, creation changes our perspective. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The Spirit of God moved over the deep nothingness. And then there was light. God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw that it was good. At the end of every day, God saw that it was good. So creation changes our perspective. The universe is not random and meaningless and cruel. God created the universe. God made it good. And God gave it to who? To be stewards. Us. We're the stewards of creation. We don't own creation. We didn't make it. But God said, take care of it. Take care of it. And that's what, it's not just some random bunch of atoms. Now we can start to see things a little bit differently. A little bit differently. Yeah, maybe you look just like I do, right? This is a nice look, right? So, also, humor. Humor can help us see things a little bit differently. Humor, the American Psychological Association says that to understand humor, you first need to adjust your frame of reference. That sometimes, like a joke, is going from one frame of reference suddenly to another frame of reference. Wasn't that funny? When you explain a joke, it's not funny. Okay, here we go. Question: why don't, and apologies to Clarks, why don't sharks bite lawyers? Answer: professional courtesy. So it's a sudden shift of perspective, using the word sharks as a pejorative for lawyers. So you jump to another plane of perspective, right? I'm explaining the joke now, so it's not funny. Okay, so another joke. Question: where is tennis first mentioned in the Bible? Tennis. Okay, it's Genesis 41:46. David served in Pharaoh's court. See, went to another shift of meaning. Okay, here's another one. Where is baseball? I'm on a sports kick. Where is baseball first mentioned in the Bible? In the big inning. Okay, I know, groaners, sorry. But we're given a new way of seeing things. That's what we're looking for. These eyeglasses can give us a new way of seeing things. And sometimes we get tripped up over the language in the Bible. What Pam just read for us, and what you just wonderfully took in, the 6 days of creation, the seventh day, people can get tripped over that because they say, 6 days? What are these scientists talking about? Theory of evolution and millions of years and going on, and people can get very upset about that because that's not what the Bible says. So, in fact, there was a famous court case, the Scopes monkey trial. Have you heard of that? Yes. What year was that? You're really close. 25? What state was it in? Sorry, I'm quizzing you all today. Tennessee. Give some eyeglasses to that man in the third row. So, it was in Tennessee, and who was on trial? Scopes, John Scopes. He was a science teacher. Actually, he was a substitute science teacher, taught the theory of evolution. They had actually passed a law against it in that town, so he was put on trial for going against the law, because people were we have to believe in the Bible. 6 days is not some theory of evolution that expands more than that, and it was a very famous trial. It was one of the first radio trials that radio had just been invented, and people were listening to it across the nation. It was 98 years ago this July. It was a sweltering summer in Tennessee. On the seventh day, they took all the proceedings outside because it was so hot. They couldn't be in the courtroom anymore. And so you had reporters there, then rushing back and giving a live feed to the people in Boston and Chicago going back. And there were the two most famous attorneys of the time. William Jennings Bryan. He had worked for Woodrow Wilson. He was a Democratic Secretary of State, and he believed the Bible, and he was the prosecution. Then Clarence Darrow, who was a big person with the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, he was the defense, and they were clashing against each other, and it came down to what do you trust as your authority? And in a surprise move, the prosecutor was put on the stand by the defending counsel. So William Jennings Bryan, who is like an avowed Bible expert in addition to him serving government, big circles of Democratic Party across the nation, he's suddenly on the stand, and he's being quizzed by the defense attorney. And the crucial point happens when he says, do you think each day of creation was 24 hours long? And so William Jennings Bryan, knowing his Bible really well, said, no, it wasn't 24 hours long. We don't know. He knew his Bible. He knew his Bible. And suddenly, the perspective of people was just blown across the nation. It was like suddenly they had new eyeglasses on. What do you mean? A day is not 24 hours. You see, because William Jennings Bryan knew what defines a day. What defines a day? What orbit, what planets or things define a day? Earth and sun, right. And it's kind of like what's rotating? Earth is rotating, and it's because the light from the sun hits the earth. Okay, and that makes a 24-hour day. What day of creation were the sun and earth created? Not the first. Not the second. You were listening to Pam, right? Very carefully. Everyone was listening very carefully to Pam. You had the whole chapter of Genesis. I gave you lots of lead time today. Okay? Come on. Which day? Third is a good guess. Fifth is another good guess too. Fourth. Yes. Our Bible experts have said it was the fourth day. And William Jennings Bryan, on the stand in that sweltering heat, he knew it was the fourth day. He knew that what defined the day was the sun and the earth, and that was invented or created by God on the fourth day. Therefore, the previous days, and even that day, couldn't be a 24-hour day. Day is used more metaphorically. It could be 6 million. He said on the stand, it could be 600 million years. I don't know. Because he was a Bible expert. He knew day was a very elastically used poetic term in the story of creation. It was so suddenly everybody had these glasses on. I see, oh my goodness, I see it in a new way. And I wasn't going to say this, but this is so cool. Have you ever read Gerhard Schroeder's The Science of God? Okay, so Science of God, quick thought experiment. Let's say you were at the point of the Big Bang, and the first thing that was created in the universe was light. According to the best physicists we have, the first thing in the universe we created was light. According to the Bible, God created the first thing was light. Yes, they're all in agreement. Okay, so we're at the Big Bang, the point of the Big Bang, and everything emerged from a point, like even tinier than a point, everything. So at one time in our history, when history was created, the entire mass of the universe was in that point. Before the light exploded at the first 10,000th of a second or whatever, the entire mass of the universe was there. So we know something about, Einstein mechanics and quantum physics, that if the mass is different, time goes at a different rate. For example, if we are standing here versus if we could put like Kate on the surface of the sun and you'd still be alive, she would experience time differently. For her, time would go every year 66.9 seconds more slowly per year, because the sun has a huge mass, so you experience it much more slowly. If Kate was at the point of the universe where the universe was created, the entire mass of the universe, from the perspective of the Earth, if you had a 24-hour period there, from the Earth's perspective, that would be about 6 billion years. Day 2, add on another 3 billion years. Day 3, add on another 1.5 billion years, until, from the perspective of where the universe was created, we on the Earth are now about day 6.5. Gee, how long did creation take in the Bible? And from the perspective of the Earth, Gerhard Schroeder, how all the things that are described in that account align with like when gas is clear on the Earth, when you can see the stars, when life was emerging, according to this Einstein relativity theory of understanding. And suddenly, I see your eyes going like, oh my goodness, what is Pastor Eric talking about? Like a new way of seeing things. Maybe there's not this huge conflict with science and religion, Monkey Scopes and Gerhard Schroeder, and we can see things differently. Look at today's bulletin cover. What do you see on today's bulletin cover? Earthrise. What is Earthrise? When the Earth rises, yes. Who are the first people that saw Earthrise? Apollo 8. Who were they? Yes, you said right in the book. Exactly. Okay. And who took that picture? Bill Anders. Bill Anders took that picture. And that was on the 4th cycle going around the moon. They were the first people in human history to see that image of the Earth rising above. Nobody had ever seen that image before. And they were so struck with awe. They kind of knew that this would happen, but they were so struck with awe. They said something on live radio. Well, it was, I guess, delayed a few seconds to the Earth. What did they say? They said the exact same words, exactly, that Pam read for us this morning on seeing this, because they were suddenly seeing the universe from a different way. It was a precious, spaceship Earth, this globe. That's all that we knew. And suddenly it's not just like, warring people and tribes and trying, working. It's like we're all together, and it's fragile and it's precious. And God said it was good, and it's a gift. And who's supposed to take care of it? We are. according to the words of Genesis. We are to take care of it. And in fact, that image that is on your bulletin cover, some people say it is the most important photograph ever taken. The most important photograph ever. Now, some people say, well, there's a couple other pictures too. Maybe it's in the top 10, but some people say it is the #1 picture. Because suddenly we could see things from a different perspective and realize just how precious and fragile, and realize that it's a gift. It's all a gift. And it is good. And who's supposed to take care of it? We are. We are. We are there to take care of it. And so the astronauts were saying, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and God moved over the faceless deep of nothingness, and then God said, let there be light, and the very first thing that was created was light. Light. The physicists and the theologians all agree. And this vision of this, it was in 1968, it was December 24th, 1960, Christmas Eve, back on Earth. And many people say that this vision helped to rekindle the fact that we are here to care for this precious planet. Help to rekindle and burst the modern environmental movement. This movement it's not just random dirt here, it's all a gift. Everything we're given is a gift. And it is good. And who takes care of it? We do. We do. And so today is Holy Trinity Sunday. What do you see about these glasses? What kind of shape? Triangle. Today we celebrate the way that the Trinity helps us to see reality. So Trinity, sometimes because the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Creator, Redeemer, the Advocate among us, however, you can see things in this way. The Trinity helps us to see things in a new way. We can see it from the viewpoint of Creator. It's a gift. It is good. We can see things from the viewpoint of the Redeemer, of Jesus, who points back to the prophets, like the prophet Micah, who says, what does God require of you but to do justice, to love kindness, to walk humbly with your God, to love God with your whole heart, mind, soul, to love your neighbor as yourself. This is the way of redeeming creation, redeeming each other. And the third way, the way of the advocate. God sends us special advocates, the Spirit. We celebrated a very special advocate here yesterday. We celebrated the life of Wendy. I believe she was a fierce advocate sent to us by God, teaching us how to love fiercely, an unshakable faith. And a testimony after testimony yesterday was given in our main sanctuary of the ways that she was an advocate from God for us, teaching us how to stand up to bullies, teaching us how to take care of the poor, teaching us to advocate against the climate chaos, teaching us to care, So this is the way that we are given, especially we celebrate on this day, on Trinity Sunday, and that's why I'm so glad to be wearing these very stylish glasses today, because it helps me to see reality differently. And so, for example, a few years ago, the old beech tree was collapsing. We cut it down outside, and we could have had just a new chem lawn put in there or whatever. And I'm looking out there, but God gave me these glasses and said, we have to do something different. Maybe a native plant garden. And suddenly Hank comes up. Hank walks to the front of the room right now. And Hank is running into the room because Hank was joining me on this. And Hank and I were getting together. And then, you know what happened? Hank put on these glasses. Isn't that great? Because Hank was going around and he's saying this crazy vision of yours, maybe some kind of native plant garden, and what could we possibly do? Yeah, looked at people online. Yeah, good to see you too. And Hank says, I know people. I can make connections. I know Gene Devine here, who does wonderful stuff, because Hank is a wonderful connector of community and helps us connect to people. And Hank did that. And because you care for the earth, because it's not just random and chaos and meaningless, but we know that God created it, and the creation is, and who's going to care for it? We are. And so Hank was there, and Hank had his glasses, and he said, Gene can come up. So thank you very much for putting on those glasses. Yes. And then Gene came up, and Gene walked to the front of the room right now. It was amazing, because Gene is somebody who is wearing these glasses.
I like pink.
Yeah, she likes pink. We all like pink. Pink is a great color. Okay, but it's a nice contrast against that. And with those glasses that you're wearing so beautifully, you keep wearing them. Yes.
Okay.
As you wear those glasses, she's modeling off here because she does divine native planning. She can help lead us, be an advocate for us in the ways of creating pollinator pathways and nurturing native birds and bees with native plants, and helping to restore things, because to her, it's not just random dirt, it's not meaningless, the world is not cruel, but we know who created everything? God. And God said it was, and who's going to care for it? We are. So thank you very much for wearing those glasses. And then Josh came along. Oh my goodness. Josh, come on down front here, because we know you want to wear these pink eyeglasses.
I do.
Yes, he does. Yes.
And this is my style right here.
Yeah. And don't those look great on him? Yes, they do. Very stylish, because Josh saw that this vision was happening, and he took it a step further and said, I can build on this, bring in other communities, the Beaver Brook Step community. I can bring it in. He saw them. He made the connections because he saw the universe is not just random and it's not just cool, but it's created by God. And God said it was. And who's going to care for it? And so these people from Beaver Brook Step. Thank you very much, God. Okay, thank you very much. And I don't know if Taryn's here yet. No. But Taryn also works at Beaver Brook. She put on these glasses because instead of the people that are in her care that are so sometimes just pushed aside, say, no, these are precious children of God, and they can contribute to our community, and they can help to nurture our native plant garden and lead and care for it, and they can help make a difference for us, for our community, for our world. She was wearing these glasses because who created the universe of creation? God. We're all quiet now. Yes, it's just amazing. And so here we are. And so my gift for us right now today, I hope you can go home, find your special Trinity eyeglasses. You have some too, right? She does. Yes, she's ready. Our new music, she's totally ready. Because if we put on these triangular glasses, perhaps the people, we can see things in a different way. Perhaps the people that were fighting, we don't have to fight. Perhaps we can see ways like Jesus says, like love your neighbor and also love your enemies. Yes, love your enemies. We can see our enemies in a different way. We can see what is random and chaos and cool as good, has a place for us to care. So that's my gift for you today. I hope you all have your Trinity eyeglasses at home. You can put them on, but aren't they styling today? Aren't they totally styling? Thanks be to God, because with this, we can understand it's all a gift. It's all a gift. It's all a gift. Thanks be to God.